Well, books are, I think, doing pretty good. I don't have the figures on publication, but I understand that they're publishing more titles than ever. Now, is that more titles in hardcover, more titles in ebooks, more titles in self-published books? I don't know. I think probably it's some of each. But books are still vital, and you've still got a couple bookstores going in town, to the big box type stores. A lot of the neighborhood bookstores, though, have gone out of business. But I'm finding a lot of people are moving to ebooks, and I have an e-reader, and I don't like to read books on an e-reader as much as I like to read a real book that you hold in your hands with pages and covers and everything. But it is convenient. At first, it was just the marketing. You ordered books online through Amazon.com or BarnesandNoble.com. And now you actually get the books themselves in an electronic form. But it's still, basically telling a story. So I think that part of it has stayed the same. And people are looking for a book that, if you really wanted to sell somebody a book, it'd be a book about them. So the local angle is still important, and so they still do that. They still have local authors come out and promote their books, and for people that are small authors that are not with a big publishing house or something, self-published books are important. It's harder for them to market them because the big bookstores don't want to give them signings as much, but they still publish a lot of those. Local histories are important. Certainly, university publishing houses like LSU Press and Ole Miss Press and places like that publish a lot of local history. And not all of it's by academics. Some of it is local people. So yeah, I think that it's changed in that respect, that it's harder, I think, to get a deal with a big publishing house, but I think it's easier to publish a book if you want to publish a self-published book or an e-book. In fact, I think if you're a writer and you've written a book and you want to publish it, you can publish it now. There was a time when that probably wasn't true. It's just too expensive, but you can publish an e-book. I think as far as what people actually pay to read, and that's where the core of it is. That's still stuff that is published by the big publishers, by Knopf and Random and people like that, Simon and Schuster. And even though they may be publishing some of these books in e-form as an e-book, they still come out with a hardcover version of it. So people still have choices to make. And as a book reviewer, I try to guide them to books that I feel are particularly significant to our area, or for our readers, or just high quality books. I think in the end that's the final standard. Is it a good book? Did you enjoy reading it? So, I've been fortunate in working for a publisher that believes in the necessity of supporting books, and literary books in particular. We have a huge books festival here, sponsored by the State Library in November, and the Advocate is one of the sponsors, and we're involved with that. We want to promote reading. We think it's essential for not just for books, but for newspapers, for people to read, and any kind of reading. So we're supporting all of that, and part of that is keeping the book section going. And I'll admit there's some pressure on it because it doesn't generate a lot of revenue. And for newspapers right now, that's really key. We're facing some tough times, and I can't enumerate all of the reasons. Some of it's the migration of advertising dollars to the internet, but we're fighting back, and we're trying to keep the services to our readers. We want to provide them with the information they need. We want to provide them with the entertainment they want, and we want to give them book reviews and coverage of the arts and things like that they won't be able to get online in the New York Times or the Atlanta Journal or something, because you won't read my book reviews there. You only read them in the Advocate. So that's an important thing to us. We're paring back. Of course, we're cutting costs, and we're trying to be more aggressive about what we cover, and we're trying to think of ways to cover stories and present them that appeal to different segments of our market. We want to get more young people involved. Really, the readership amongst young people never has been real high. I guess That's just something that doesn't really ring home for young people. But we want to get them interested. We want to find out what it is they want to read. And certainly they're reading books. YA titles are just really hot right now. So, you know, we try to feature some of that, and especially if it's somebody local. Kimberly Willis Hope, who's from here in Louisiana, she won a National Book Award for when Zachary Beaver came to town. We feature books like that. And so we try to find out things like that people are reading, young people, and we try to target that market and get them interested so that they'll start reading books, start reading the newspaper, and hopefully so that we can keep our readership up, you know, continue to provide the services that we have in the past. I don't think books and publishing will ever go away as long as stories need to be told. I think we've been telling stories since we were sitting around campfires, and I don't think we're going to stop. It's just the way we tell them. It's the medium we use. It's, do we tell them on a computer screen, or do we tell them on pages of a book, or, you know, do we stream them to someone's iPhone, or how do we tell them? But we're always going to tell stories.